Hey, it's Coach Reeves. Today, we're going to find the remaining zeros. Now, the other day, we found the remaining factors. And remember, if you're going to find the remaining anything, you have to have a remainder of 0. If your remainder is not 0, then we can't do it. Okay? So we're going to try to do synthetic division. We'll try to do long division. But we're going to take what's left over as far as our quotient goes, and we're going to find the remaining zeros using the quadratic formula. All right, let's do a couple examples and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, here's the situation. They already told us what we're going to put in our bracket. We don't have to figure out or calculate what to put in our bracket. We're going to use the -2 in our bracket. We check our exponents, 3, 2, 1. We're in descending order. We don't have any gaps. We don't need to put any zeros. So we jump into the synthetic division. We have a 1, we have a -2, we have a -9, we have a -2. Draw our line. This is our remainder column right here, okay? Bring down the first number, and we say -2 times 1 is a -2. This gives us a -4. -2 times -4 is a +8, which gives us a -1. -2 times -1 is a +2 with a remainder of 0. That's a good thing. This lets me know that I am doing something right. Step 1 is good, okay? So we look at what we got. This is going to leave us with x squared minus 4x minus 1. This is my A value, this is my B value, this is my C value. And we need to substitute that in to our quadratic formula. The quadratic formula says this. The opposite, let me erase that, it's not very pretty. Okay. Alright, so it says the opposite of B plus or minus the square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2 times A. There's our quadratic formula in case you forgot it, okay? So B is -4. The opposite of B is a +4. Plus or minus the square root of B squared. -4 times -4 is a +16. That will be 16 minus 4 times A. A is 1. Times C. C is -1. Over 2 times A. 2 times 1 is 2. So this is what we're looking at right here. Be careful. I like to take care of that. Now you can put this in the calculator. Oops, undo. You can put that in the calculator. I like to take care of business here. -4 times -1 is a +4. So this is going to give me 4 plus or minus the square root of 20 over 2. We give ourselves a little bit of room to work with. This will break down the square root of 20. The square root of 20 is going to come out to be 4 times 5, which allows me to take out a 2. I'm going to get 4 plus or minus 2 square roots of 5 over 2. We need to reduce this. The number 2 goes into all 3 of these. You're going to say that 2 goes in here 2 times. 2 goes in here 1 time, 2 goes in here 1 time. My final answer will be 2 plus or minus the square root of 5. Now, you did the quadratic formula when you were in Algebra 1. We did it earlier this year. So all we're doing is we're putting 2 things together. We're putting synthetic division together with the quadratic formula. So it's not anything you haven't already done. You were just putting them together and doing it at one time. Okay? Let's try another one. All right. So here's my -2 that we're going to work with. 3, 2, 1, no gaps. We're in good shape. So we're going to say 1, -2, 5, 26. Draw our line, set up our remainder column, and we start our work. Bring down the 1. -2 times 1 is -2, which gives us a -4. -2 times -4 is a +8, which gives me 13. -2 times 13 is a -26, which leaves me with a remainder of 0. That's a good sign. Step 1 is good. All right, so this is my A, this is my B, that is my C. So we're going to go to the quadratic formula. It says the opposite of B. The opposite of a -4 is a +4. Plus or minus B squared. -4 times -4 is a +16. Minus 4 times A. A is 1. Times C. C is 13. Over 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. So I'm going to do a little bit of math here. I'm going to multiply. -4 times 13 is a -52. And so when 16 minus 52 will give me what? A -36. -36. So you're going to get 4 plus or minus the square root of -36 over 2. We know what this is. That's a negative. We're going to take the square root of a negative, which means you're going to get an I. And we do know with the square root of 36, that's a 6. So when you work this, you're going to get 4 plus or minus 6i over 2. Now you reduce. You're going to say that 2 goes in here 2 times, 2 goes in here 3 times, 2 goes in here 1 time. Your final answer should be 2 plus or minus 3i. Not bad, okay? One more example. All right, so we're going to work with -2. Three, 2, 1, no gaps, so we can get started on our synthetic division. We're going to have a 1, a 13, 23, and a 2. Draw your line, set up your remainder column, bring down your first term, or your first number. -2 times 1 is -2. That's going to leave me with 11. -2 times 11 is a -22. That's going to leave me with a 1. -2 times 1 is -2, which leaves me with a remainder of 0. Good stuff, okay? Now, this is my A, this is my B, this is my C. Quadratic formula says I want the opposite of B. The opposite of B is a -11, plus or minus the square root. I need B squared. 11 times 11 is 121. Minus 4 times A times C over 2 times 1, which is a 2. Okay? So you're going to do this. You're going to have to go -4 times 1 is a -4. So you're going to end up with -11 plus or minus the square root of 117 over 2. Now we have to see if we can break down the 117. What can go into 117? Okay? Good way to do that is to check out calculator, or you can divide. You're thinking it's not going to be divisible by 2. 3 won't go in it. Well, let's try 3. Let's see what 3 happens. 117 divided by 3. 3 will go in here 3 times. That's going to give you a 9. That's going to leave you with 27. You're going to get 3 times 39. Okay? So 3 works. Okay? But then you say also 39 is divisible by 3, so we're breaking this down as 117 is 3 times 39, which is 3 times 13. There's a pair. So when you simplify this, a pair of 3s, 3 comes out and a 13 stays inside. So when you work this, you're looking, let me bring this up a little bit. Negative 11 plus or minus, here's your pair. The 3 comes out. The 13 stays in over 2. You don't have anything that can reduce, so this is your final answer. There's your final answer. Okay? So all you're doing is synthetic division and then the quadratic formula. That's it. No big deal. Remember, if you don't get a 0 as a remainder, you need to go backwards and redo it. I'm not going to trick you. We're not going to trick you anything. So if you work the problem and you don't get a 0 as your remainder, you've made a mistake. Go back and redo that part as far as your synthetic division goes. Hey, if you have any questions, just let us know. Show up in a Zoom or just email us and let us help you. Good luck.